our motto, lending a helping hand. Upon taking the responsibilities of being the Vice President of Theta Chi, one of my main jobs was to tackle community service and philanthropy. And now in the past, we've come under scrutiny for not having a correct vision. So this year is one of my goals, as I talked about with Michelle. I created a philanthropy committee comprised of my assistant, Nick Anderson, and members from the other three classes. Randall Langton, Mike Doherty, and Theta Chi Fraternity, a new member. Between all of us members, we were able to devise a plan that we wanted to work towards the fight against cancer. Here are some highlights from some of our great events this past year. We had a lot of them. Every time I could see them kind of go somewhere and do some good, I volunteered us, much to my brothers' disagreement sometimes, but they came out and supported us like real brothers do. Some of our great events this year were the class of 2012 send-offs. We had brothers in Boston, we had brothers in New York, we had brothers in Atlanta, Georgia, going out and meeting the new fresh and new potential members. Also, we had some staples like we always have. Shout out for charity, partnered this year with ASA, the College Against Cancer. And Strikes for Tights, partnered with Alpha Gamma Delta. These two events were more successful than they ever had been in years. And I couldn't be more proud of our brothers because of that. We've also had some new events. Save Your Balls Dodgeball Tournament raised money for testicular cancer with the class of 2009, the College Against Cancer, and Fashion for Cure, which was just 2 weeks ago. We raised over $1,000 with Delta Gamma sorority. Some upcoming events. I am privileged to be on the executive board for College Against Cancer, and I will be forefronting the Relay for Life here. That's an annual event that raises money for cancer. This year, instead of having just one traditional team, we're having two. One led by myself and one led by Brother Chase Philpotts. And we're actually in a competition of sorts. With different ways to compete, and at the end, either team will be rewarded with a pizza party of my treat. I'm trying to get brothers to come out here, and it's a great way that they all come support me, and actually he's got a great competitive drive that helps brothers support each other, and in the end, we end up having a great cause. Also, Brother Eric Feinstein brought the Just Born Candy Park Maintenance program to our knowledge. He actually had his work at the Just Born Candy Factory, and he said that their company is trying to look to renovate parks, and we said, of course we would do that. We want to support our brothers in any way possible. So it would be a crime to go without mentioning some of these individual efforts. As we are brothers supporting brothers, also brothers who are just going out of their way to become better individuals. Start off the list, my successor, Stephen Meow, goes out of his way to raise money for juvenile diabetes. Mike Doherty, he is a volunteer at St. Luke's Hospital. Colin Callahan and Nick Anderson, both tutors. Steve Parrow took it upon himself to get a food drive for a benefit a local shelter. Andrew Walters, while in Hong Kong, decided to take time out of his day to teach English to underprivileged students. New member Adam Pinger joined this house, the Right Mentality, volunteers in the Boys and Girls Club. And I'm lucky enough to serve on the state Pennsylvania Youth Task Force for Relay for Life, and I led a seminar for 200 students teaching them what they can do in the fight against cancer. Here's a breakdown of our hours. We have a total of 296 hours of community service. Now, the best thing about this number is that it's not over with yet. But right now, it averages out to about 8 hours. When we have all of our tabulations from Fashion for a Cure and Relay for Life and the other events this semester, we're really going to blow that number out of the water. The next thing that's quite remarkable is our philanthropy donations. Much to my treasurer's discredit, he told me at the beginning of the year we only had $1,000 to give out. But through our events, we raised over $4,000, and that's not even including all the events that we've had this year. We're going to have more coming up, and I couldn't be more proud of our brothers and the effort that they've been putting forward. Then I'll talk about our house participation. Upon joining our house, some members get the idea that they can only become involved through executive board positions. They are in fact wrong. There are 17 small committee positions: accreditation, altar board, standards board, even formal chair. There's different ways that new members get involved, especially if they're not in exec board in the first way. They can showcase their talents to the rest of the brotherhood and work well together. Also, something I take a lot of pride in is I know a lot of houses leave the house cleans the kitchen duty for the younger members in their house. And I here, as a senior, am proud to say that I work with every brother in this room to make sure our house is in the best shape that it possibly can be. Standards board. I was privileged enough at the President's Uranium Conference to lead a discussion about our standards board, which has been nationally recognized by our IHQ. Its primary purpose is to serve as our judiciary board, which is led by our future president, Todd Obery. It's made up of members from each class: Julie King, Brian Buckles, Steve Parrow, and Anthony Segona. Now, the Standards Board is not primarily supposed to be a negative thing. It also rewards brothers with Standards Excellence Awards for the brothers who go above and beyond each month. Now, I have to applaud our risk management program. We have had no conduct violations this year, which has been incredible. And I'd like to attribute that to our code of conduct. At the beginning of the year, the executive board meets and decides what kind of standards we want to hold ourselves as brothers to. And then we bring it up at the House meeting. If anyone has any issues or want to add anything, we add it in because we want everybody's input on this kind of thing. And at the end of that meeting, we all sign it, and I keep a record of it in my binder. And it just shows as a record that we hold ourselves to a high standard as being members of Theta Chi Fraternity. Now I'd like to pass it off to our accreditation chairman, Brother Nick Anderson.